against the communists. My father had a different opinion, but my mother hated the communists, the most worst people and so on. I never talked with my dad politics. Never. With my mom, I did everything.
And what happened when you got to Russia?
When I came to Russia, we came over the border, and they was talking to all those who ran over, one against other, at midnight. They asked questions about me, and they asked questions about other. I told them, don't tell them I was a businessman, tell them I was put glass to the glazer. I put glass on the window, on windows. And there was there one girl who was a communist girl, who have a boyfriend, also a communist. She used to holler all the time, loud in Russian. What is Martin Ilkow will do here? He cannot do business. And she repeated and repeated and repeated. She wanted some of the authority she heard. In that Berger, her boyfriend, Berger was his name, I used to give him money for Spain. And Spain was the revolution. But he was a customer, so I gave him 5 kron. You know, not because I was a communist or something. I give him 5 kron, then they come next time, I give another 5. So Berger, you remember I give it you for Spain? Tell your girlfriend she should shut up. She should not talk like that. But she talked again, but I did. So he make her to stop. Very nice guy. Anyway, I don't think he survived. And his girlfriend either survived. I don't know what happened to him. But that we went five together. 3 of them came back. One boy, his name was Joina, I forgot the last name, and Yakubovich, Etu Yakubovich, she's now in Florida. She came back. She married a guy from Romania, and I married my wife, of course.
Now, which part of Russia were you at this point?
We came in Polish Russia first. They occupied Poland, and we came there to a city, Skola. We was there by a week in a very uncomfortable place to sleep. Finally, we were taken to a prison, called it Stri. This was more normal prison, but it was 40 people in a room. We have to turn over, the whole row have to turn over. We have blue marks. Till the 15th of March, when we took us out from the Polish Russian territory, they took us to Kiev, the capital of Ukraine, and there was a place where they got 80,000 prisoners, and they call it Biela Cerkev. This was outskirts of Kiev. When the war started, they shipped us right there with the train to east.
Could you backtrack a little bit and talk a little bit more about the first place that you went to? What was the name?
Stri. First was Skola. Skola was a small town, and I didn't see nothing. Stri was a bigger town, something of 35, maybe 40,000 population. It was a Rishonim Kippur. I see the Jews was going to daven. We was there in the mikveh. They took us the prisoners to take a bath, and on the mikveh was written, Mikveh Yisrael Toshia Be'ez Tzara. It was written with big letters, and we was going there for every week once to take a bath there. All those prisoners, you know, under the guard, of course. And when Arashunim Kippur, they took us. Arashunim Kippur, I used to watch through the window. I saw the Jews going to that. I didn't keep Rishonim Kippur in the prison. I didn't. A friend of mine kept that, but when they give chazar to eat, he ate it. I didn't. I changed chazar for bread because I couldn't even look at it. And in the prison, we used to ask the guard when we will go free, when we will go to transport. He said the 45th of May, not the 30th of May, the 45th. They make fun of us, you know. So finally, when they decided, took us to the train, and we came to Kiev. Kiev was a big town there, and there was lots of prisoners there. And in their prison, we was davening in Khamarev. The Shomer Atzaya didn't go to daven, but I went to daven. I remember a Polish guy who knows everything by heart. I know half by heart, but he knows better. We was davening, say the Kadisha and all that stuff, and I really felt religious minded. I was still religious minded. Even I was in the last place of my stay in Russia. I still religious minded. I was working in the lab, and in the lab I used to have a mincha, I remember, myself, how much I remembered, by heart.
What happened in Kiev?
In Kiev was a place that all those prisoners who ran away to Russia, they kept them there. And from there, they sort them out. Many prisoners they need to the Arctic place. There are many prisoners that they need for the lumber industry. And they sorted out the prisoners. I was choose to go to Norilsk. This is on the North Sea, with the north of Krasnoyarsk, with the river Yenisei. And we came there for 2 weeks. We was going on a barge, and we came over there to a port city called Dudinka. And from there we have a small train, and they took us to the city Norilsk. Norilsk was a big industrial city, cobalt, copper, nickel, zinc, you name it, everything was there. And there was a city of 80,000 prisoners. I was transported to the brick factory. The first year I was digging ground, and they melted the ground and they make bricks. And I was working outside. I got swollen feet. I couldn't walk anymore. The health department sent me greens to eat, sauerkraut and so on. And I recuperate from the swelling of the feet. Then I froze my toe, and they put me in working inside. To work inside in the building helped me a Jewish guy in the office. His name was Breban, and he told me, don't worry, you will work there, and if they will try to get you out, I will put you in. It was anti-Semitic leaders in the foremen, and they tried to get me out. And I was working good. I was healthy, I was young, and I was showing that I can work, and even those masters who was there, why he is getting him out? He wanted to get boys anti-Semitic. His name was Chervenka. On the end, I got a premium of sugar, 1 kilogram sugar for premium for my good work. And then I was working with young prisoners there who brought in 12-year-old boys who killed some people. They was there. And there was a special department to them to work. It was a Russian, the leader, but later on they figured I could do it better. And they took me, and I was leading it for one year, doing nothing, just supervising those kids. The kids wanted to kill me once with a big brick, and they fall near me by 1 feet. I took all those kids there around, and I explained them that I'm a prisoner like you. I never treat you bad. Tell me one if I did you, because sometimes they told me if they don't behave, I should report them. I never reported nobody. So they agreed. They never bothered me anymore. After the kids grew up a year older, they took them to regular work like everybody else. Then I was working like a head of the transport, the raw material of bricks, to burning the bricks. So I was receiving the raw bricks, and then the other department come with wagons for 800 bricks on a wagon, and they took it and they burned it. And I was taking from everybody who bring me the raw bricks, 400 that, 400 that, 400, 800 that. At the end of the day, I give my report to the head of that department, and they know how much brick I give out. In the other department, which they burn the bricks, I have nothing to do with it. How much they break, how much they ruined, or how much they ruined, or nothing. But this was my job approximately for 3 years. Good job.
What happened to people who couldn't do these jobs?
You couldn't do the jobs, they give less bread. They never hit nobody. They said to me, we don't hit nobody. We just hit you over the stomach. It means they're instead of a kilogram bread, we got 400, 600 grams of bread. In there, we got 1 kilogram bread a day. 3 times soup, mostly oatmeal. Oatmeal soup, oatmeal thick one, and sometimes fish we had. So when I come here to the shul now, Sharet Tzedek, they serve oatmeal. I said, Martin, eat oatmeal is good for you. I said, 8 years I was eating oatmeal. I got it over already. But the oatmeal here is good. There was...
Were you there with any people that you knew?
I was there not with one people I knew, but I met there a Romanian boy, Rat. He came from Romania. He was at home a communist. He was freed after 3 years. Didn't free me after 3 years. I was staying there till the end of the war. The war ended April 5th, April 8th, no, May 8th. And I was staying there in a labor camp till January 29, 1946.
What happened after the war?
The war ended. I figured they will come to me, said, you're free, you're free. I wait every day, and they don't. I wrote to them, I speak Russian, I was writing Russian. Nothing helped. But on January 29, they came in, you are going free. So when I was free, I told them that they thought I'm an educated person, that we will put you work in the lab, the cement laboratory. We will send you for a course for 6 weeks, and if you learn, you will have that job. And the job pays 600 rubles a month, and they give me a better location to sleep, everything, a better room, everything, treat me like an intellectual. In that place, I was down in Mincha Marav in the evening, because I was independent, nobody was there. I know how to do, how to check it. I had a book, I have to write in how much water supposed to be done to the cement, when it catches together. Then I make little cubes, put a pressure on it, how much pressure they can take, and I give the report to the authorities. But they warned me, if I give a report which is not good and they built a house and the house fell down, 20 years. You deal with Russian, you deal, you know. But I was very careful when I was doing my job. They make first little cement like cookies, and they put them in hot water, froze them, and in heat. And after 24 hours, I took it out and I checked it. If any character is changing, I put it in my report. And if the report is not good, they took that cement, they took that body of that output, and they was reworking it, you know, to be right. But I was not making cement. I just got a little bag of 10 kilogram cement, and from that I do all my testing. That was a pretty good job. 600 rubles was good money, but I was hungry. Could not buy nothing.
Is there any means of finding out anything outside of Russia about your hometown or your family?
I wrote when I got free already. When I free, I couldn't go south because everything was frozen. I was in January, so I waited till June. I went to Krasnoyarsk. The authorities told me you can live in any city, but not in the capital city of that region. That means Krasnoyarsk. I chose the city Kansk, was a tobacco factory. I figure I will go there, work in tobacco factory. I will have tobacco. Maybe I can sell it, and I can have a few bucks to buy my food something. No, there was not hiring there. I came to a textile factory. They hired me there, and I was working in the textile factory till I went home. And there I went with my friend, of course, that we were free, Joina, and we went back home. I find that a Czech intellectual, engineer, speak perfect Czech, and he was very friendly to us, that guy. And we was making pretty good money, but the only thing is they didn't have food. They have a kitchen, they give us a special permit to eat with the officials, with the higher working people, but still was hungry.
When did you find out about what happened to your family?
I wrote a letter home, a card, or a letter. I wrote home, dear parents, I am letting you know that I'm here in city of Krasnoyarsk. I would like to come home. Please send me my birth certificate. Sooner you send me that certificate, sooner I'm turning home. The reason I was so short was everything was censored. If I do something wrong, they will excuse me that I'm sending secret information. Who know the Russian? I know the Russian. I knew him, so I was very careful. When I came home, nobody answered for me. I didn't know what happened. So when I came home, there was a guy there, a Slovak, non-Jew, and he wrote his parents. He told me that send my parents and they will send you immediately. We sent the city Humane, where I was born, and in a month came my paper. I sent it to the Czech consul. The Czech consul sent me authorized a Russian passport. Then they give me a visa and I return home. I make it short as possible. It's a longer story, but make it short as possible.
You can elaborate if you feel
It's,
necessary.
a letter goes to Moscow for a month. A month comes back. The other letter goes another month. So this was so delaying my coming home because every letter was so checked and every letter was so watched what I'm doing. So that's why I I was take me so long.
So what ended up happening to your family?
When I heard stories that they killed Jews in Europe, I figured probably they did, but I didn't know it was systematic. Everybody was killing. I figured they killed probably the communists, the relative of the communists. That's what I figured, but I didn't imagine that I will have lost all my family. I figured, oh, maybe my father was sympathetic to the socialists or so, but. Later, when I came to Vilno, I saw on the marketplace all those jackets which have a kriya. You know what a kriya means? When somebody dies, they make a cut in the sleeve. And I bought a jacket like that, a blue jacket. I have some money. I bought it. So I said, oh my gosh, all the jackets here are they selling on the marketplace? All got these cuts. So the guy told me they killed the Jews here. That's why they got the jackets. Jews here, but still not believe that all Jews came to Ungvar, home to Czechoslovakia, to former Czechoslovakia, now it was Russia already occupied that part. Then I find people from my hometown, and they tell me the story. Tell to my friend, you have two brothers, and you, Martin, you have nobody. My stomach was going till my Beverly was born, my stomach was jumping. I was so nervous, so upset. I couldn't believe it. Why now? And I heard all those stories, but how they did it, I'm still dreaming about it. Still dreaming about it. Even I wasn't there. I'm dreaming the stories which I heard, which I read, which my wife told me, and it's miserable. I got the book and I read all that Holocaust stuff.
Did he tell you exactly where they were taken to?
They told me to Poland, to Auschwitz, but I find out from a friend of mine who is now in California. They took him to Chelmno, and Chelmno, he said, was not the gas chamber was not ready. So they took him in certain trucks, and they gassed him in the trucks. I don't know if my parents was part of the trucks transport or not. I really don't know. What I heard.
When were they taken?
They taken in 1942 after Pesach. My brother was taken earlier. My brother was a soldier in the Czech army, and he came home sick of a stomach problem, and the Czechoslovak system was giving him medicine only, not pension, but medicine. So when the Slovak fascist government took over, they still give him medicine. So in 1941, or late 41 or early 42, they came in and they told them that they will cure him. They will take him to cure him in a certain place. And when my brother heard that they coming to get him, he put himself in bed that he's sick. So they dragged him from the bed and took him to the train and took him to Auschwitz. I don't know what happened to him. Never heard of him.
And who told you this?
They told me my friend who survived from the same town. He's in he's in New York. His name is Rochlitz, Shio Rochlitz. He's on the little picture that I have here.
Did he actually see your brother being dragged out?
No.
But he had heard about it.
But he heard that my brother went to bed, and they told me which policeman took him. He told me which policeman took him. And if he went to bed, they dragged him out. I don't know if they dragged him with force or they told him get up. I cannot confirm because I was really not there. But it is close to believe, My brother was the older one. He's the only brother that I have, but I had.
Going back to the time you spent in Russia, normally would they give you to eat on a daily basis?
And when we came already to the labor camp, the food was normal every day, never skipped a meal, never. And it was under circumstances, I think they give you to eat what they got. They didn't get better, and they give you, comparing to the situation, I think I should not complain. The food was mostly what I call it oatmeal and fish soup and kilogram bread if you make the norm. If you don't, but always got the kilogram bread. Things happen. Kilogram bread. But the kilogram bread don't compare to American bread. The bread was heavy, and you know. But if you eat up a kilogram bread, you are not hungry.
What were the sleeping accommodations like?
The sleeping accommodation in the beginning, they built only the barracks, so they put the wood was not dried. The wood was not dried, and they didn't have mattresses, nothing. So we sleep about 3 days till we got mattresses. The mattresses was made. We put what I call it when they saw wood, you know, that little what fall down when you saw wood, you know.
Splinters?
Yeah. They put in a sack. It was not bad, and they give you also a cover on that, and they give you a pretty good how to call it blanket, good blanket, and the pillow was also the same. In prison was different. Prison give you nothing. In prison I put my shoes and a sweater on the top of the shoes. I put my hat on, and the pants I put and I lay down on it, and I got a raincoat and I covered myself with a jacket. The raincoat, the feet, and with the jacket, the top. But God helped, so should not complain.
Did your faith, was it affected at all?
I was, in the time of my suffering, I never complained to God. I never figured I figured it's a war, and I saw the Russians doing what they can to the prisoners, what they are there. They have a hospital there, you have a barber there, you have a dentist there. Everything was available under the circumstances, not like in Czechoslovakia, but Russia was a primitive country comparing to Europe. So everything was there. They give you shoes, whatever they had. They give you the clothing, whatever they had. They took you every once a week, they change the clothing. I mean the underwear, and they take you to bed, force you, and they disinfect the barracks for for any insects or so. And if sick or anything, you have temperature, you go to doctor, and they give you a day off or two.
Did you have any knowledge of what was going on in Western Europe?
I only watched the stories how the Germans pressing the Russians, and when the Russian was pressing the Germans, I always watching, but I was more enjoying it. Especially when Stalingrad the first time, and when the Russian got those generals, marshals, encircled, and in Moscow, and they also got success. I was enjoying it. I figured the Russians are our friends at that particular time.
Is there any knowledge, though, of any extermination
No,
of Jews or anything like that?
absolutely not. After war, I heard stories. So they got new prisoners, Russians, who came back from the war, and they give them hard labor. And those were they call it the mayors of the villages and of the cities under the German occupation. But I told them I'm Jewish, and no one was telling me about. Yeah, one incident I forgot. If I have time for it. It was a woman there who was working as a free woman. I was a prisoner working there, and she always came before the shift started, and she was collecting bricks, and she put on for herself bricks before the shift started, in order that she should have lots of bricks to pick up when the time comes. So when I come pick up, this is mine. So what can I do? So she told me, it's not no wonder they're killing us in Europe. But I didn't imagine what she had in mind. So I called her fascist. They wanted to arrest me for calling her fascist, but she said she's a communist, and I call her fascist. So, but then the authorities of the labor camp, the foreman and the general foreman, was all on my side.
We're going to end now at the end of tape number 2.
This is tape number 3. Today's date is April 14th, and the survivor's name is Martin Ilkow. Now, what happened when you left Russia? How were you able to leave?
First I have to have a passport, a Russian passport without citizenship. They give us Russian system give out passport without citizenship, and they said you can leave now. We let you go, but Martin, you don't have a visa. We cannot let you go. Which country? So I was striving for the visa. I have to have, and I wrote to the Czechoslovak system in Moscow embassy, and they wrote me back. A month goes there, the letter, a month goes back. So 2 months is gone. I need to have the birth certificate that I am a Czechoslovak citizen. We cannot give just visas like that. So anyway, I tried with my dad. He then went 2 weeks there, 2 weeks back, you know. Then a friend of mine, by the name Mucha, Joseph Mucha, and he told me, we write to my parents and our parents will send you. He wrote a letter to his parents. I give him my name in the city, where I was born, the date. My birth certificate came, I got it here. And I sent it to the consul, Prague. They told me, we send you a visa. I received the visa. The Russian mobilized me to work in a farm mobilization. We have to be volunteer. So I tell them I'm going home. I got the visa. No. You go. When the visa will arrive, we let you know. My God. How I'm volunteering? Either I volunteer or I don't volunteer. But this is the Russian system. I went to there. I was working there. Finally, I came back. I got 8 breads. I sold the bread. I got a few rubles, and I got the visa. And I took the train. There we go. I came to Moscow. I went to the Czech embassy. I told them they're holding me after 3 years in a labor camp, and they should pay me. What they give me 3 years, and they hold me 3 years more. How come? They should pay me. They told me, Martin, you have a visa. Don't start up with them. They will tear up your visa. They tear up your passport and take you away. And no, Papa, Mama, you have the papers. Go home. Went home. I stopped in Vilna. I bought myself a jacket, which it was cut for a person who lost somebody. I came home. I find out that I have nobody survives from my family. Nobody. So my friend have 2 brothers. I have nobody. So when I came to my hometown, I went to the mikveh, and my old clothing was full of whatever I accumulated in the train. The train was dirty in Russia. So anyway, I distillate everything, and I heard I got a cousin living from my uncle's side. I came over there. Thursday I was in the mikveh. Friday I was by my cousin for Shabbos. I eat chicken soup. I didn't eat it for 4 years. I enjoyed it very much. They give me some 1,500 kron, probably a week of living, and then I went to do my business. You know, bought myself food. I didn't eat chazar. All this chazar I never ate. I tried not to. I didn't want to. I didn't. So then I tried to sell my father's house. Cannot live there. What I will do? So I sold it. I got half the money. Then I got the passport to Sweden. I forgot to say I was ready to I find out my wife is alive. I got another girlfriend. She was married, and that girlfriend, but she's here, the third girlfriend, I wrote a letter, no response. She probably married before she got my letter.